Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out one of the most interesting smartphones of 2022, and that is the Realme GT Neo 3. Now I actually did a very quick unboxing and first impressions video a couple of weeks back, but in today's video I've been using this device here for close to 2 weeks now, and I have the full experience to share with you guys. And just to give you a quick hint, this device here, the Realme GT Neo 3, is going to be offering you the most performance at the most affordable price range that you can get. So in Malaysia, we just have this device here launched, and the pricing for it is actually very attractive. Now the standard retail price is going for RM2099, but what's most interesting here is in terms of the flash sale price, and that is going for just RM1799, guys. Again, this is a very affordable price point because, back then Realme actually announced the GT2 Pro, and this one was the most affordable Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 device that came in at like RM2599, but this one undercuts it even more, and it comes with a whole lot of performance that is very similar to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 devices. So let's talk a little bit about that. Now first things first, we got to talk a bit about the design. I don't want to go into so much detail here because I've already covered it in the full unboxing process, but essentially you do get these racing stripes at the back here that makes it resemble a sports car. It has this very youthful and sporty kind of look, and what I love about it is that it's actually quite slim to hold. You also have these very nice matte back panels at the back here. That means you have no fingerprint issues whatsoever. At the sides here, again, it is slightly curved, so it's easier to hold with your hands, very comfortable to hold, and it's not very heavy as well. It's quite lightweight here, so that's great about these devices. Overall, just in terms of the design, you have it very straightforward. You have the white version, you have the blue, and there is also one that is in black that comes without any stripes. But if I were to go and choose one, personally, I like the blue and white quite a lot, so I can't really choose one over the other. But yeah, these are two very interesting designs here that once again resembles that of a sports car. Alright, so let's talk about the more important thing here, and that is about the performance and the user experience. So over the past 2 weeks, I really wanted to find out how good this device is in terms of gaming. Well, just in terms of specifications, first up, like I said earlier on, it is powered by the Dimensity 8100. You have 8GB of internal RAM. Yes, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is very smooth on this device. Moving on, you also have 256GB of internal memory, and that is UFS 3.1. That means everything, all your transfers between the files is going to be very quick. So that's just in terms of the numbers and specifications. But how did it actually fare up in terms of gaming? Well, I played, of course, a couple of games here. You guys know I'm quite a bit of a gamer, so I did play my Mobile Legends, I did play a real racing, and of course, more importantly, I want to talk a little bit more about the experience playing Genshin Impact. Now the reason for that is because Genshin Impact, we all know that it's a very graphic intensive game, and of course if you are able to run it at maximum graphic settings, maximum frame rates, of course it's going to cause the phone to heat up. Well, in this case, the Dimensity 8100 here really handled it like a champ. I was playing the game Genshin Impact for multiple hours, guys. I think these days I've just been hooked to the game so much, maybe after 1 or 2 hours, and the temperatures did not even get to the point where it was so hot. It was actually very comfortably, not as warm as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and I could still hold the phone very comfortably and still play it without any issues. So that's the first takeaway there. Now the second takeaway from this experience is that the game itself, because it is not heating up that much, it was able to run very smoothly and with barely minimal kind of frame rate drops. So that's also very good because the entire gaming experience was very smooth. So that's the second takeaway there. Now the third takeaway is in terms of the battery life. It's all about efficiency here. So I did a very quick calculation, and just after 1 hour of gaming, the battery life actually dropped by approximately 24%. So it's not that much at all, considering I was already using the highest graphic settings and I was playing non-stop on Genshin Impact. So very respectable kind of performance there. Again, comparing it side by side with something like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, I used to play a lot of games on that kind of devices as well, but it always came with the heat, and because of that heat, the performance got throttled a little bit and it wasn't as smooth. But on the Realme GT Neo 3 here, again, I've been playing a ton of games, and I can really attest to you guys that it is definitely not that hot. It definitely provides better frame rates, and overall not that much in terms of your battery drop. So that's in terms of the gaming performance. Now in terms of day-to-day use, obviously since it's able to handle this kind of games here, you can expect every kind of app launches to be super quick, just launching your Instagram, your Facebook, YouTube and all that, just browsing through your phone itself. On the daily, you will not have any issues. There is just a buttery smooth experience on the Realme GT Neo 3. All in all, in terms of performance, I'm very happy with that on the Realme GT Neo 3. It really gave me a different perspective on how a potential flagship could be if it were not using a Snapdragon processor, because Snapdragon, they're just messed up with their heat and all that. So that's just in terms of the performance. I should also mention that we do have the X-axis haptics running in these guys here, so the vibrations are very crisp, they're very short, and they are actually very nice to interact with on the phone itself. So that's great there. So moving on to my next point, this is where I talk about the second thing that I actually was very surprised here. And that was actually in terms of the cameras at the back. Now, sometimes, these days, we have a ton of devices being released, and they always focus on maybe giving you the best performance, they give you the best battery, but they sometimes forget about the cameras. Well, on the Realme GT Neo 3 here, I did mention earlier on in my previous video, it has the Sony IMX766 sensor. Now, this sensor is still being used on a lot of flagship devices, even today here in 2022. So you have a very decent 50 megapixel main sensor here that comes with OIS. Apart from that, you also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now let's talk a bit about that 50 megapixel main sensor. So I was taking a lot of photos during the day, and I noticed that the colors here was actually reproduced very well. There's a lot of dynamic range here and a lot of detail in the pictures taken by this sensor. Again, not very surprised there, because this used to be a flagship sensor, and today it is still a very flagship kind of sensor. Apart from that, I must also mention that the night mode here actually really was something else, guys. So yes, I'm going to put a quick side-by-side comparison between your night mode turn off and your night mode turn on, and here we can see that the real dark conditions here is able to be made very bright by the Realme GT Neo 3. So very impressive stuff there. In terms of taking the shot itself, it was very quick. It only takes about 1 second to take every single night shot, and this is the kind of performance that you can get. So very impressed with the cameras there. Now, the third thing about the camera here that I want to talk about is actually in terms of the video. These days, again, a lot of manufacturers, they don't really give us 4K at 60 FPS, especially at this price point. So we do have 4K at 60 FPS here, and again, with the OIS, the stabilization, you are actually able to capture a very decent video recording kind of stuff with the Realme GT Neo 3. So again, if you are looking for best performance, awesome cameras, that is where you can find it here on this device. Now, moving on, we're going to touch upon a couple more interesting stuff. We'll talk about the display first. If I just flip the device to the front here, you do notice that we do have a fairly large 1080p AMOLED display. The most important point here is that it is a 120Hz AMOLED display, so that means that browsing on the device, everything is going to be buttery smooth. I'm not sure what the exact touch sampling rate is, but I do know that it's very sensitive and good enough for gaming. Now, in terms of brightness, again, I don't have the official numbers, but I've been using the device outdoors most of the time, taking photos and all that, and I noticed that I never had any issues in terms of brightness level. So display wise, you're going to be rest assured you'll be getting a decent display here. Now, moving on to my final point, I want to talk a little bit about that battery life, because battery is very important. So in terms of battery life, we do have a 5000 mAh battery on board, this very slim body. And the good news here is that it does come with the 80-watt dart charger in the box, and it charges up very quickly, guys. So you'll be able to get like 0 to 100% in approximately like half an hour. And if you just want to juice up your device by 0 to 50%, it will take less than 15 minutes, guys. So very, very fast charging, again, on the Realme GT Neo 3. Alright, so just overall, in terms of my user experience with the Realme GT Neo 3, what I can say that, again, you are going to be stretching your money the most here, because you are going to get the maximum performance for the amount of money that you are paying. Not only does it come with a superb kind of performance here in terms of your gaming, a day-to-day use, but it also came with a pretty good cameras at the back, and you do have that fast charging to back it up. Display-wise, like I mentioned earlier on, is also great here, so it's a very, very strong all-rounded device here that I would definitely recommend to anyone who's buying a new smartphone in 2022, and if your budget is approximately just 2,000 ringgit, I would say that the top of mind now is the Realme GT Neo 3. Alright, having said all that, yes, in conjunction with launching the Realme GT Neo 3 here in Malaysia, Realme is also releasing the Realme Buds Air 3. Now take note that this is the special edition one, because you have that 2 stripes at the middle. I've already unboxed this very quickly, and just to show you how it looks like, this is the standard one. It's completely blue, and this is actually my daily driver. I use it for all my runs, and this is the special edition version that has the 2 stripes down the middle. It just looks so good, guys. Apart from that, there's also one minor difference that you might want to know, and that is in terms of the colorway inside. Notice that the earbuds, the ear tips itself is black on this special edition, whereas the previous one was completely in blue. So again, just a very, very nice Realme Buds Air 3 here, in case you are wondering about that. Realme is also throwing a promo. I think it's like RM 220 plus ringgit. So yeah, that's a bundle. Anyways, yes, a very good experience here with the Realme GT Neo 3. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'm more than happy to help you out. And of course, don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. Once again, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.